Did you hear? They're coming for you. They're armed, dangerous, potentially egregious. The people that tell you that life is straight and narrow. Don't stray and let your mind wander. There is but one way to be. And then a rebellion, shattering of glass, a knife twisted in the back of tradition's own court. They have not heard of the SuperSport.
Something this beautiful with this logo and that rev note is traditionally the recipe for something really scary. Better, more skilled women and men than me will probably disagree completely. How can I handle it, they'll say. The fact of the matter is, fast, angry bikes still scare the bejesus out of me. And ironically enough, I'm really not afraid to admit it.
So why did I ramble about the SuperSport being the rebel? The one to change things. The spec sheet scared me. A full 937 cc's on two wheels. An L-twin engine that makes 110 horsepower and 93.5 Nm. 210 kilos to haul. Scary, scary, scary. I am still of the opinion that this amount of power on two wheels is not supposed to be under control. It's unnatural. It's not the way life was intended. And so, when it actually does show up on two wheels like it has here, you can see how I might be a little bit intimidated. The running joke in my mind is that they make machines this beautiful, this evocative, just to soften the blow of how brutal it is on the move. That can't be a thing, right? It's probably not. The truest consequence of engineering brilliance, in my eyes, is when a machine makes you forget about limitations. Yours, your environments, heck, the machines too. It's when said machine envelops you in a cocoon of ease. When it opens up the world around you, makes you feel like you're fused at the hip, connected, one, absolutely intertwined. That's when the switch happens. You're not along for the ride then. You're not a passenger. The machine's not driving you, you're driving it. When it feels as natural as moving a limb or breathing or simply existing, that's engineering brilliance. I think you see where this is going because the SuperSport is just that. It's not scary. From every conceivable angle, it should be. But it's not. It's a warm, friendly hug on a cold, frigid day. In urban, the friendliest ride mode, the SuperSport is laughably easy on the move. The L-twin just lathers on the pace as you twist your right wrist. It's a buttery, velvety progression, completely at odds with the guttural, almost rough exhaust note. Whack the throttle open and your surroundings begin to blur instantaneously, but it's not maniacal or frenzied about it.
It almost just walks up to you and says, hey, this is what you wanted. So, there you go. Have at it. But don't worry, I've got your back throughout. Not once is there a moment where dread takes over, however fleeting it may be. Not once are you aware about the fact that you're hauling more than 200 kilos. It's just easy.
Supporting my theory is the fact that this comes loaded with equipment. So there's cornering ABS, there's traction control, there's a bi-directional quick shifter, and this is the 950S. So those Olins you see there, those are standard. So that got me thinking a little bit. Why not crank this up a notch? And once everything's dialed up to 11, you begin to see what it can really handle, where it really begins to come into its own.
Everything begins to take on a heightened sense of shock. Alright, so this is what you're like when you're unleashed. when you're off the hook. This is fun, addictive, this is mesmerizing. And in the middle of all this, you still have the mental capacity to wonder about mundane things. Did I leave the lights on back at home? I left the water heater on, didn't I?
How often have you thought about those things when you're ruddy scared? The mind is conditioned to focus on the worst possible outcomes when fear is introduced. But that's never the case on the SuperSport. The SuperSport just completely missed the brief about riling people up. It instead chose a really much friendlier route. It chose restrained violence. Good choice, bud.